Hey everybody, it is Tuesday and it's 2 o'clock. So that means it is time for Top 5 Tuesday. I'm your host from Crate Insider, Kate Dillon, and we're going to kick off this episode with a little message like refuse to lose, right? And I'll get to my sign in just a moment, but what we're going to give away this week is actually, I thought it would be a good theme. So refuse to lose. If you haven't seen these shirts before, we carry them in our online store. They run $22, but in order to win our giveaway, all you need to do is leave a comment. You can say hi, you can leave an emoticon, whatever you want to do there, and at the end of this we'll do a random number drawing, and we will give away a t-shirt of your choice of your size. So the front has the refuse to lose. Let me see if I can tip this. There we go. You can see it a little bit better. Or on the back it has this whole refuse to lose. It's got Crate Insider. Worked on this project with my friend Heather Smith from Dirt Divas, and that's how we came up with the refuse to lose shirt. And like I said, you can leave a comment right there, but we'll also drop the link in, so in case you want to just pick one up, you can certainly do that. Next up, I want to just talk about a couple featured items that we have going on. We just posted a video, posted on YouTube yesterday or on Facebook today. We gave a little radiator tech tip we got from AFCO, and that tech tip is if you buy one radiator with a universal fitting on the top, then you can use these fittings here on top of your radiator. The thing you run into is if you have an AN fitting on your radiator, that AN fittings to AN fittings can sometimes cross thread and it can be an issue. So this is one way to make sure that doesn't happen, because that way you're going from a machine fitting to an AN fitting, and that way it makes it so you just don't want to take that chance. You don't want to have to trash your radiator because somebody cross-threaded a couple of AN fittings. So that was our little tech tip of the day, and you can check that out. And of course, we've got these radiator fittings available in our store. And then next up, I want to talk about the podcast. So for those of you who, whether if you listen to our podcast or if you haven't before, we have a new podcast episode that went up yesterday, and I had a chance to sit down and actually have a few beers with Steve Hendren from Hendren Racing Engines, hear some of his stories, hear a little bit about his journey, about his history, and that was a lot of fun. So I've really heard from a lot of people that this was the first podcast they ever listened to, which was really cool, that, we got to inspire somebody to listen to that. And it's just one of those things you can just go ahead and pop on, if you're just kind of doing some work around the house or working on your car, you can put it on the stereo, or even in your car. That would be a great place to listen. They're all a little bit longer. Of course, I make a lot of video, and videos really aren't very long. This one ends up being 12 to 15 minutes long, our show every week. But the other ones end up being like 3 to 6 minutes long. But the podcast, some of them are half an hour, some of them are an hour and a half. So we just sit down and just start talking and just kind of see where that goes. But that is the podcast. And I did mention my sign a minute ago. So if you know what my sign said last week, go ahead and bop that into a comment. I actually have a really fun giveaway that I'm doing today, and actually just came in yesterday. And they are these, it's called a slingback. See this? And it has Crate Insider on it, and it allows me to look, it's almost like magic. Like it's not magic. It's elastic band thing with Crate Insider on it. I don't know. I thought they were really cool, so I bought some, and that's what we're giving away for. If you know what my sign said last week, we'll do a random number generator drawing at the end of the video too to select our winner there. And so Top 5 Tuesday can get a little stale sometimes if it's the same products week after week after week. So I do like to shake it up every once in a while. And sometimes I'll do a spotlight on tools, or what were the top 5 products for the whole month. Well, this time I decided we're actually going to go more than 5. It happens sometimes, but I wanted to highlight some of the new products that we have added to the website. Now, they may not be new as far as new goes, but they're new to the website. And the first one I want to talk about is that obviously our air filter bases and our air filter lids have been incredibly popular. So we have bought a lot of them. And unfortunately, what happens sometimes is that they just get damaged in shipping. So we've been really at a standstill. Like, what are we going to do with these? Because they're not terrible. But see, they get, can you see that dent? I don't know if you can see the dent. There you can see the dent. So what we've decided to do, we've actually added an entire section. It's under the sale portion of our website, and it's called Scratch and Dent. And these are products that, again, like scratch and dent. So this one, some dents are going to be worse than others. Like here's one where it's just kind of all jacked up right there. And so with our air filter bases and our air filter lids, you can find these for half price in our scratch and dent section. So the air filter bases, it's still going to come with a seal like when we sell it brand new. And these run, instead of $99.50, you'll be able to pick one of these up for $50, as long as you can unbend it. And they're just at varying stages of dents. I mean, if anything's totally trashed, we won't sell it at all. But of course, you just never know. I mean, these things just get crushed. Things happen. And they are aluminum, so they are bendable. And then the lids, we're selling those for $34. So that's half price of what they would be for new. And you'll just see them in there under the scratch and dent section. And what we have is what we have. So we're keeping inventory on those. And, you know, sometimes we'll have stock and sometimes we won't. With that, in that same vein, we actually had a set of our brand new ProFab headers, you know, like a header set with the anti-reversion mufflers and the whole deal. We had one of those sets coming with a dent. And so that one's now in our scratch and dent section as well. And instead of that set being $1,700, we're selling it for $400 off. It literally has one dent in it, so I can't sell it as brand new. And we even have a picture of that dent just taken with a camera, and just so that way you can actually see what the dent looks like and see how severe that is. So it's a way to save some money, and otherwise, what do we do with this inventory as well? So just, you know, trying to find a win-win there. So anyway, enjoy the scratch and dent section there. Next up, I wanted to talk about, we've gotten so much, of course, I work really closely with Hendren Racing Engines. I'm in the same town as they are, and we wanted to be able to provide better service for our customers. And so one thing that we have going on now is that at one time, we have both a GM 602 and a GM 604 blueprinted by Hendren Racing Engines in stock. So it's not like it's going to be a 2 or 3 week lead time, but you'll be able to pick your seals. So for instance, there's a GM 602, and that one is done for, it would be legal with Sika, Rush, any of the Durance Lane, and you get to pick what kind of seals that you would like to have on those. That's the one thing that would hold us up for a couple of days, is when you order one of those, we'll need a couple of days to get the seals, you know, get your information, get the seals, and then it would be ready to go out the door for you. So the GM 602, that one runs $4,600, and the GM 604 runs $8,400. And that, again, they're all completely legal in all of those series. So you can get one of those, just call me up, especially if you want any add-ons. So for instance, there's one of our 604s that's been done up. Try to make this focus, I apologize. Webcams are webcams. Anyway, that's a GM 604 shown with other accessories. And of course, I sell all of that too, you know, distributors and water pumps and front drives and all of that. And so we can certainly put together a whole engine package, but it is nice to know that we do have those engines literally in stock. So no long wait times on those. And next up, I do have a brand new product that has never been on our website before. And that is a carburetor. We're talking about Hendrens. So here is a carburetor from Hendren Racing Engines. And this features a billet center section right here. And it's all built out. Of course, they dyno so many cars. And this would be set up for any of your oxygenated fuels. So if you're running CHP or the Clot CR601 or CR604, or like the Renegade Ratman Elite, any of those, this carburetor would work great for. And this carburetor runs $1,250, so $1,250. And obviously, I've got one in stock right now. I have a feeling I'm probably going to struggle a little bit with keeping these in stock, but I do have at least one in stock right now and a couple more on the way. So that is that. Next up, sorry, my phone's going crazy today. Next up, another new product we have. I've had a lot of guys asking for carburetor jets. And so I went through and I now stock carburetor jets, the Holley carburetor main carb jets. And we have anywhere from -60 all the way to -79. And you can pick those up. There's just one listing for it, is the carb jets, and then you can pick which of those jets that you want to pick. So it's, again, 60 through 79 on those. Oh, and these run $8.12. All right, and lastly, we have another new product. And in fact, we'll have a video coming out soon. I went down to Butler Built a couple weeks ago, and we've become a Butler Built dealer. So this is their Easy 2 Sportsman Series seat. This one happens to be shown as powder coated yellow, but generally they come in that, that raw aluminum type of a finish. And these seats, they start at $779, and you can find this, of course, on our website in the driver accessories safety. We've started a new section for seats. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and jump in and say hi, see if there are any questions that we have over here. And I'm also going to need to probably bring up random number generator. So bear with me for just a moment. There we go. I'll bring this up in another screen. And let me just see if there are any questions over here. Let's see here, because I love answering questions whenever I can. And I've got a number here. I've got Alex's help today, so he's going to help me with that. Okay. And hang on just a second. I'm doing little drawings here real quick, and then I'll answer any questions that we might have. Okay. And he'll get those to me. So, good deal. A little distracted here. There we go. All right. So let's see here. If I got lots of people here. I've got David and Marshall and Jason, Jaron, Tim, Derek. I mean, hello to all you guys. I thank you so much for being here on our Top 5 Tuesday show. It really means a lot to me. Oh, and Mitch said I look prettier today since I'm not distorted. Well, thank you, Mitch. I appreciate that. Let's see. I've got the first winner for our Refuse to Lose t-shirt right here is Jaron Israel. So Jaron, if you would, please send me a private message with your address and also your shirt size. I think I'm out of smalls, but I have the other sizes available. So you can just send me a private message on that. And then next up, we're going to find out who wins the slingback. And, oh, that would be Brad Shale. So Brad, actually, I know your address, so I will send you one of these slingbacks right here for your phone. And I'm going to see if there's any other questions on here. Great. Oh, got it. Somebody, Bill asked if we've got a scratch and dent 604. I do not have a scratch and dent 604. But that's a really good idea, though. You never know what can happen there. Oh, let's see. But anyway, that is all we have today. I don't see any other crazy questions. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here, for being part of Top 5 Tuesday. And I will see you next week at 2 o'clock on Tuesday for Top 5 Tuesday.